2016. It's Tuesday. It's 11:47 a.m. right now, and let me turn the brightness all the way on. Hang on. All right, they should have brightened it up a little bit. My cool Brooklyn hat. I'm tired. I'm tired of learning about my period is history class right now. I'm on my way to the bathroom, but I just wanted to record a quick little video. I'm in history class, whatever, right now. I'm tired of history. I'm tired of learning about the same white bullshit. I'm tired of it. Why'd I have to say white? I'm tired of it. I could just, look at the facts of how it doesn't have much to do with me as a black person. Now, I will admit, of course, okay, of course, there were blacks in America, obviously, African Americans in America during the times of, the Civil War and the Cold War and World War II. Of course, because we were already, at that point, we had already been put in America, North America. You know what I'm saying? So yes, in some way, I can imagine how it did involve blacks, because during these times of war, where people were, in poverty, and they had to hurry up and scrimmage for jobs, and they were losing their jobs because of the war, and they had to go off and make war materials, and okay, you do what you can to get by with where you live. And since blacks happen to be living in America, I can understand how the war is somehow crucial to somehow my history too, because if blacks they were affected by the war too in some ways. I'm thinking about financially right now, financially. And anyway, I'm just saying that even still then, you can't deny blacks. They did. They had it a hell of a lot harder. Hotter. I said hotter. Harder. You know what I'm saying? Maybe someone's like, who's to say? No, use some fucking sense. Who's not to say? Use some common sense. But again, what really pisses me off, besides the fact that I don't see what any of these wars have much to do with me, besides, like I said, the financial shit. Because, when a country's in war, majority struggles. Unless you're really high up there, majority is going to struggle. Yeah, even if you were the middle class black man, your ass was going to be affected by that shit. And this is even way back then. Let's say if there happened to be, that rare middleman, middle class black guy. Fine. The scattered few. However, they managed to make and keep their money. Again, we're talking about a black person in those times. So you take someone who already doesn't have shit, and they're in a country that is in war. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to be affected. So in that sense, I see how it affects blacks. But it's on the same hand, these are the wars of whites. This has nothing to do with me. So there's that factor that pisses me off, because I'm forced to learn about shit that has nothing to do with me as a black person. They didn't even want our black asses in wars anyway. Fuck, I think it's really just because, of course, they needed more troops, so I guess they gave in. They're like, oh, well, I guess I don't mind letting in, a black or two. I guess we don't mind letting in blacks and letting them die, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They just needed more bodies. They needed a greater supply of bodies, more arms, bigger force, But still, these white wars have nothing to do with me. It doesn't. As a black person, it doesn't. Because really, if you go back to the basis, it doesn't have anything to do with my history. It really doesn't. Like I said, of course, now blacks were in America, so yes, like I said, any country that goes through war, it's going to affect. It can range from a varying degree of people, of any race or, sex or whatever, eye color, hair texture, whatever. That makes sense. That's the only way I can see the glimpse that it kind of somewhat affects me as a black person. But other than that, these white bullshit wars has nothing to do with me. And secondly, I'm tired of them not saying the whole truth. They don't mention how blacks actually were affected in certain ways when it comes to these wars. What? The fucking Holocaust. We just learned about that shit. We just got finished learning about World War II. And, the Holocaust and everything, the jump being of that, or being somewhat the jump of World War II, Holocaust and all that shit. And no one brought up in my fucking history class that, hey, actually, before the Holocaust, they tested all that shit and then some on blacks. They went to Africa, and they tested all that shit on blacks. Really, y'all can look it up. And I had to learn that from a way outside source, from Ghazi. Ghazi, he's awesome. He is. And I love Ghazi. But still, it's just, that's what I'm pissed about. These white wars have nothing to do with me as a black person. And even if they try to say it does, well, yeah, it affected blacks too. Like I already said the few reasons of how I see it, it can affect me as a black person. I've already said that. But if people try to be in my face, whites, let's just be real, whites, my white teacher tries to be in my face. Actually, yeah, it does affect blacks because, okay, well, if it affects blacks, then tell the whole fucking truth. Because this is the same example. We're learning about the Cold War. This is the same example of me saying, let's say, back then, like a few weeks ago, we were learning about the Holocaust, whatever. If I would have stuck up and said, actually, the Holocaust really affects blacks, and I'm offended that you're not mentioning the truth about how blacks were affected and how blacks actually, the killing and murder, slaughtering, and just wickedness towards blacks. I'm offended how you're not mentioning how that was actually the real tipping off point of the Holocaust. Why are you leaving blacks out in this instance? If I were to stand up and say it, and the teacher would say, actually, no, I've never heard of that, and, well, that's not necessarily true, that's just theory-based, or, no, but we have to talk about specific branches of the Holocaust. But yet still, you're not talking about the main reasons. You're not talking about the essential plots. You're not. You're leaving specific information out that has to do with blacks. But in this instance, when you want to make it work for you, then you want to throw, actually, yeah, blacks were affected too, and it does matter to blacks. It is a part of black history because it affected everyone in America. Bullshit. I'm tired of learning about this white bullshit. I'm tired of learning about these white wars that have nothing to do with me. And especially so when they don't even want to give you your credits, give you your dues of the real information and how it did affect you as a black person when it came to wars, when it came to financial struggles, the crisis or whatever they wanted to call it. Any point in history, I hate that. I'm really pissed off, and yet they want us to write these essays and these reports on how much it means to us. That soldiers and troops fought for us and fought for our rights and died in these Cold Wars, died in the Civil War for us, and how much it should mean to us as an American, right? They want us to write all these bullshit essays. What do you think? What's your stance on the war? Tell how the tactics that UN troops, tell how the tactics of American soldiers helped our cause of Americans, and tell how it was necessary, not only legal, but it was justified and necessary. Right on that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck their justifications. Like, I'm tired of these essays. It's like, it's instilling in us that we're supposed to it's supposed to prop us up. Well, guess what? We're not all the same. No, it's propping, that, again, it has nothing to do with me as a black person. That does not prop me up as a black person. Those white kids, they can write about it just fine. It affects them differently than it affects me. Maybe, and maybe I'm a racist fuck because I'm not so happy to just jump on the bandwagon, do what they want and expect you to do. Maybe that makes me a racist fuck. Because I'm not so happy with just, being propped up about, I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that this happened. I'm so happy that American troops did this and did this for us. When in reality, they were still against blacks, you know what I'm saying? In the reality, during the reality points of those wars. But again, no one says that. No one says the truth of that. That's what I'm tired of. They are supposed to write essays on how we're so grateful and our opinions on the war and how everything is beautiful and how America just handled everything so smoothly. We're supposed to write about our opposition on this war or on this war tactic or how American troops invaded this land, and colonized it. I'm out.